Welcome back to Flowvia Automations, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can turn any Excel sheet into a PDF using no code at all. So let's get into it. Alright, so the method that we're going to be using today is pdf.co's API, their Excel to PDF method. Very nice and easy to use. They have all of the attributes down here listed of what you can do with this specifically. But for this video, we're going to keep it nice and simple. So to start off, we're going to hop back into our n8n and we're going to grab our form submission node. So we're just going to have any way that we can upload our Excel sheet into n8n. If you have a different way to get it in there or you already have a process set up, that's fine. Just what I'm trying to do is get the Excel sheet into the workflow. So we're just going to title it testing. Description will be testing as well. For the form elements, we want to make sure that we select file here. I'm going to keep the field name to data just so it's consistent all through the workflow, but you could select anything you would like. So yeah, we're going to have that here, nice and simple. We're going to execute this step and we're going to select our Excel worksheet. So we have an Excel worksheet already set up here. You want to make sure it's a .xls or XLSX, doesn't matter, either or. But yeah, that's the way it's going to work. Now that we have this here, we want a way that we can get a public URL formatted. So to use pdf.co's API, you need a URL. And if you can notice here from the form submission, it doesn't give us one. If you are using some type of database or anything else, then you are able to use the URL from there. But for this video, we are going to use the Google Drive. So we're going to select the Google Drive node, and we're actually going to upload this file to the Google Drive. And the reason why we do this is because it's going to provide us with a web view link. A link, a URL, exactly what we need. So we're going to keep the field name input to exactly what is matched here. So if you changed it in the form submission, you want to make sure this matches that. File name to testing, and then you want to just make sure you have a folder selected. We had one kind of pre-set up, so if you don't have a folder set up now, go do that. But yeah, we'll execute that step. And once we get the outcome here, we're going to see that web view link is what we need. So now that we have that web view link, we're actually ready to go ahead and make that API call to pdf.co. So let's go ahead and see how we can build that out. All right, so what you're gonna wanna do is grab a HTTP request node. I've already done this before, so I'm not gonna take the time to break it all down in this video. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you set up your authentication. You can do it directly within the headers, but I like to have it up here. So you simply just select header auth and you do the pdf.co credentials. So you can make a new credential, you can go in there and type in your API key. That way you can reference this at any other time you want instead of having to type in your API key each time. So now that we have that, we want to make sure the method is to post. The API URL is going to be pdf.co. And then just the rest of it's going to be whatever is matched over here. We're going to keep the format to JSON, and we want JSON raw parameters. You could actually do this directly in here using fields defined, but I think it's just nice to send a actual URL, actual body parameter. So once we have it in here, there's only going to be three things that we're going to need. So it's going to be the URL, obviously, of the Excel sheet that we want to change, the async to false, and then the name of whatever you want the output to be called. So we're just going to simply keep it to output, but you can obviously change this to whatever you need. You can even make it dynamic to, based on whatever you have the name to be. So you could drag that over, you could do whatever you would like. So nice and easy. Now that we have this here, we can execute this step. It does take about 5 seconds or so, but yeah, you want to make sure that whatever web view link you have here matches the one over there. Obviously, if you used something different than the Google Drive, just use whichever one that you have. Now that it's done here, it's going to output us a URL. And to get that URL, obviously, we're going to need to grab another HTTP request node, keep the method to get, simply drag the URL over, and we can execute this step to get our PDF. If you saw in the beginning of the workflow, our document was still an Excel sheet. And if you see now, after the API, the file extension is a PDF. We can quickly download that and open it up to take a look. And we now have a PDF of our Excel sheet. So you can see it kind of dragged all the rows over and it turned it into a PDF. Very nice and simple. Obviously from here you can do whatever you need with that file. You can re-upload it to the Google Drive. But yeah, that's kind of up to you in your workflow. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Other than that, if you have any other questions, please also leave them down below. I'll try my best to make any future videos based on what you guys want. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day.